Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and when I was 19 years old, I was lost and I didn't know exactly what to do with my life. And I watched this video by a creator on YouTube called Casey Neistat. And the whole video was titled, Life Explained in 27 Seconds. And till this day, I'm still mad about that video because in reality, the video was actually 28 seconds long. Now, from my perspective, guys, and what I remember from this video, was that basically life is like a moving walkway, like the ones in the airport. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's like an escalator, but it's flat. So you kind of walk instead of trying to go up the stairs automatically. And the whole idea is that life, whether you want to or you don't want to, it is still going to move forward. And if you get on, for example, on the wrong way of this walkway, it's going to constantly be pushing you back and back and back, which will then get you tired because you're actually not moving forward. And however, guys, all of this video was pretty good, and I recommend you actually watch it. I think that Casey Neistat left out a very important part to this whole example. And it's that life also brings a lot of obstacles. It's not just you walking or trying to run or trying to hustle, but it's also you, for example, not knowing what you want to do. My friends are ahead of me. My parents aren't proud of me. I don't know what I want to do. I'm not happy. All these things are the obstacles that you're going to actually get in your way when you're actually trying to make this walk down this walkway of life. And that's what we're going to break down in today's video. And the goal is that I'll tell you exactly what I did to kind of get, for example, an idea of my purpose in this life, okay? And by the way, I'm 24 years old. I make a good amount of money. I'm healthy, I'm very happy, and I'm working on my relationships, okay? And by the way, I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, but I'm constantly working and actually just being more happy and content with my life, okay? So that's what I'm gonna teach you in this video. And by the way, for context here, just about a year ago, I was overweight, I was obese, I had very toxic relationships, and things were probably not going my way. And in reality, I was still making a lot of money, but that's context, right? Making more money doesn't make you happy. That's what we're gonna break down in this video. Now, if you guys just found my channel, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, and join the long-term team family. And also smash the like button to help out with this video a ton. I appreciate it. Now, the very first thing is, guys, that although Casey Neistat did a great job saying life is like a walkway, from my perspective, I see life more like a car. Right? And life is like a car because in reality, you are the car. Us, the humans, are actually the car. And you know, you might have a Ferrari, you might have a Bugatti, but if all the tires are flat and you try to race a Toyota, you're asking for trouble because in reality, you're probably going to get into a massive accident. And you know, people say, well, what do the tires actually represent, Tommy? Okay, because if we are the car, then what do these four tires actually represent? Well, the first tire represents basically health. The second tire basically represents wealth. The third one represents also love, spirituality, and family. And the fourth tire represents also happiness. So life is like that. You're a car, you have these four wheels you have to get on, and if you're not careful, one of them might become flat, and just because you keep moving, you don't really notice it. Guess what? Eventually, you'll get to the rim and you're going to damage the car a lot and potentially get into a massive accident. You know, that might mean, hey, you might get super depressed. You might get crazy anxiety. Things might not just go your way. You feel like the world's against you. That's usually what happens. So the way I see it, guys, is that basically your 20s is about discovering these four wheels, these four tires, and working on basically keeping all of them intact and well maintained. And by the way, don't get me wrong here. You're not gonna have a perfect balance all the time. That's not what it's about. It's not saying, well, I'm gonna do 25% on each of them. It doesn't work that way, okay? That's not how life works. But it's about saying, well, I'm gonna try my best on each of these categories, okay? And I'm gonna tell you exactly how I do it and what I think these four categories actually are and how they actually work. Now, the very first one, guys, as you already know, is health. And by the way, health is one of the most ignored ones. And I can tell you that because basically, I ignored health a lot. You know, about in March, I weighed in at my heaviest. I weighed in around 215 pounds as a 5 feet 9 inches male. meaning I was obese, meaning I had a problem, okay? And by the way, you might say, wow, Tommy, you're a loser, right? But even back then, I was making around $30,000 per month, you know? So context is important, you know? Meaning that although you might make a lot of money, does not mean you're prospering on all the categories of your life. So one thing I always recommend is do not neglect your health. Don't say, I'm gonna hustle all the day, so I sleep 4 hours a day, I eat trash, I don't work out, I don't do anything, you're gaining a bunch of weight, because I know how that ends. You wanna know how I know? Because now I weigh around 193 pounds, so I've lost around 7 plus 15, that's around 22 pounds, which is great, that's awesome for me. But before that, my dad focused a lot on money. And eventually, the way it works is that, again, you know, it's a flat tire. The air is going to leak out step by step. But eventually, you'll notice, okay? You'll notice you're on a flat tire because you'll feel it. So my dad got sick, you know, around 3 years ago. And he got diabetes, led to kidney failure, led to problems with his eyesight, and then led to him passing away. And I know how that ends, and that's not what I want for myself, or not also what I want for you guys. So my advice is this: do not neglect this, because in reality, you're not going to see the consequences right away when it comes to health, but you will see it later on when it actually matters. So my advice is, what I currently do, by the way, you don't have to do it, but it's what I do, and it helps me out a lot, so that's why I'm telling you. I try to do at least 3 to 4 times of weight training for at least an hour, 3 times to 4 times a week. I also try to sweat every single day. So for me, that's 2 miles of walking, just walking every single day. For some of you guys might be running or jogging. For me, it's just walking. And that keeps me very healthy, and I also lose a lot of weight. And on top of that also, I'm on a diet. For me, intermediate fasting works the best. It works the best. I've lost the most weight. I feel comfortable, I get to eat what I want to eat, and I feel great. And I also get at least 8 hours of sleep every single night. That has helped me a ton to lose around 22 pounds. And the goal is by the end of the year to only weigh in around 180 pounds, but my goal is going to be to get to 160 pounds of lean muscle and stay there, not revert back to my old ways. So again, health is very important. You don't want to be rich and be obese and be very unhealthy and suffer from diseases, because that's just not cool. Now, number 2, the second tire here is actually wealth. And wealth is one of the hardest ones, but for me, it's been very easy. And it's one of the ones where people kind of put all their attention into. Hey, Tommy, I want to build a business. I'm so worried about money. I'm anxious about this. So what am I supposed to do? You know, the way I see wealth is fairly simple. We live in a capitalist society, which basically means you have to give value to receive money. And with that money, you get to do what you actually want to do. But it's very important you know exactly what you want to do. And that's where the problem comes into play, because you're like, oh, I have this passion. It'll make me no money. I don't like this job. I don't like it. I don't know what careers to go into. I just don't know what to do. So how do you find out exactly what you're supposed to do to actually make money? And by the way, America is awesome, because in America, we have a lot of opportunities. In some places, you don't get to choose what you actually gonna do, okay? You probably do what your parents did, or you probably do whatever is available, because you have no choices. In America, we have a lot of choices, and that's awesome. Not to minimize anybody's problems, by the way. But overall, my advice would be this. When it comes to money, you wanna look for 3 things. Something you like, something you're good at, and something that's gonna make you money. And that something has to be something that people are actually interested in and actually need. That's the only way they're actually going to pay you for it. So how do you find this? And how do you know when you found it? The only way to find it is by searching for it, by trying different things out, by doing research, by testing things, okay? The only way you know you like that show on Netflix is basically you found it, you watched it, and you watched a lot of other shows before you actually got to that one. It's the same thing. You got to try different things out, and when you find it, you'll know. Now, here are some concrete advice on this though, and how to find your dream career. My advice is make a list of the top 10 careers that you're actually interested in. You know, your top 10, whether it's like crazy or not crazy, just your top 10 dream careers. And then write at least a paper, just 1 page per career, and do all the research on it. For example, what are the job prospects in it? Is it going to keep growing? How long will it take for me to actually do it? How much will it pay me? What's the day-to-day like? Do all that research and then cross off until you get to the top 3 and pick the one you like the most. Now, why do I say this? Because in reality, we're gonna work for around a fourth or a third of our entire lives, meaning a long butt time, okay? So it's very important that whatever you choose to do, you actually like it, you actually enjoy. I do YouTube. I make a good amount of money, yes. But if my goal and what I actually liked was, for example, flipping burgers at McDonald's, I would be happy doing that because it's like, it's what I like to do. You know what I mean? So obviously don't do that, but try to find a career where you like it, you're happy doing it, and you're actually good at it. And lastly, it makes you money. Those 3 things right there are very important. That's what I would do when it comes to wealth. So don't overthink it. Just try different things out, test different things out until you get to what you actually like, and do that exercise. I recommend it highly. You know, my mistake was when I went to college, I picked accounting because someone told me. I never did an ounce of research. Till this day, I regret it. I got lucky, yes. But if I had it my way today, I probably would have gone into finance, you know, honestly. But I didn't know that back then. So if you do this, you'll probably know exactly what you want to do by doing all the research. And yes, it does take at least 4 to 8 hours to actually do this. It takes time. Now, the third wheel is actually love, family, and spirituality. And this gets neglected and kind of like, it's fine, I don't care about it a lot. But it's actually one of the most important things. So, you know, like this video or comment down below if you've heard this before, okay? I can't focus on a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, dating, wife, husband right now because in reality, I'm just too busy. You know, I want to get to this career goal. I want to become wealthy. And then, and only then, I'll focus on those things. You know, most likely a lot of you guys heard this before. And in reality, that was also me. You know, I felt like I can't really focus on those things. Not really that important. But it's really what matters the most. You know, I read a lot, guys, if you guys don't know this. And one thing I read is that basically when people are on their deathbed, for example, they don't talk about, I wish I worked more. I wish I watched more movies. They talk about, I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish I did a lot more things that actually made me happy. You know, that's what people actually think about in the end. So that's what your main focus should actually be on. So for me personally, yes, dating is very important, you know, and when you find the person that's for you, and by the way, they won't be perfect because you're not perfect either. That person is not going to be a liability or an expense. They're going to be an asset. And stop thinking about everything being, for example, like money and monetary. It's people are people, you know, they're not efficient. People are people. Lastly, family, you know, very important. You know, we get contempt with our family. Don't really try that often, but it's very important. I think I saw this like little quote on Instagram. Don't take it seriously, by the way. It's a quote on Instagram. It says, by the time you turn 18 and you move out, for most people out there, not for me, I moved out at 24, you would already spent around 90 to 80% of all the time you would have spent with your parents. So for the rest of your life, you're probably not going to spend that much time with them. So appreciate your family. Take care of them. Have conversations with them. Be involved in family. And also lastly, spirituality. You know, I'm Christian. I'm not really big on religion though. I wasn't. And then I said, I want to get closer. So I started wanting to go to church and I started learning more about God and all that stuff. And that's actually helped me out a ton. So all these things matter a lot. Now, lastly, the fourth wheel here is actually happiness. And everyone focuses on this one. Well, if it doesn't make me happy, I ain't gonna do it. That doesn't make me happy, I'm not doing it. You know, it's the wrong perspective. The way I see happy, it's like this fleeing thing. So if you chase it, you'll never get it because it's always fleeing. It comes and it goes. So the way I get happiness personally, you can steal this if you want to, because I stole it also, is basically just do more of the things that make you happy. It's a way to guarantee happiness, right? If being around someone makes you happy, be around them more. And by the way, I don't mean it makes me happy to be around this very toxic relationship that I know is not good for me. That's not good. I mean, if it makes me happy being around this person, I'll do that. If this job makes me happy, I'll do more of it. You know, that's what happiness is to me. Happiness is not an emotion per se. Happiness is an action that then leads to an emotion, just like love. Love is an action that then leads to the feeling of love. Guys, those right there are the 4 wheels, the 4 pillars of life as a whole. So hopefully, if you are in your 20s and you are lost, the goal is just work on all 4 of these things. And by the way, it's hard. It's difficult. I'm not perfect at it, okay? Not at all. But the way I try to do it is basically, when I wake up, I work on health. Then I go to my job, okay? So that's wealth. Then I call my parents, well, my mom, because my dad's not here. I talk to my fiance. I try to talk to my brothers, although I don't really do that much. You know, I try to talk to my friends, maintain those relationships. And then I just do more of the things that make me happy. You know, if you do that every single day, you'll have a more fulfilling life. You know, that's what life is about. It's not about anything else, really, in my opinion. So that's my advice. Comment down below. Hopefully it was helpful. If it did, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, let me know in the comments also. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. If you want to call me right now for free. The link is down below. Or if you want to DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. Or here's more content here, more channels here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Long term for the win. Love you guys. Peace out.